What's going on, guys? Welcome to For the Fans. It's been a very long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. I am Kevin. This is CJ. We are the 5 PMers, and we are back, baby.
What up?
It has been CJ. It's been so long since we've talked about we talked about Survivor the last like season or two. Um, we talked about Big Brother a year ago, a long year ago.
Yeah, it was funny because we just kind of ignored Survivor. Like we all watched it, but we didn't have anything to talk about. But Big Brother's
Yeah,
back,
we
and there's always something to talk about.
we hadn't been on here. We had a lot of stuff going on, but we're so back. We're so ready. It is BB 27, 25 years of Big Brother.
I think it's funny that it's 27, but and like they celebrated BB 25 as the 25th Big Brother, and now it's the 25th anniversary of Big Brother. Like you're trying to get two in for the price of one.
But like they're not like really trying to get two in, right? Because they're like it's the 25th year. Cool. As
Yeah,
opposed to Survivor that's like Survivor 50. Yes, we did 40. And 20 years, big deal. 25 years
I
for the
I
in the hands of the fans.
it's funny because I cannot conceive of Survivor 50 being bigger than Winners at War.
Yeah.
Like I know that it's going to be all returnees, but because of the way that the game has changed since 41, it's going to be more new era players than older players.
I don't know. There was a lot of new. Have you? I mean, you've seen the cast, right?
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
like
lot of old
50-50.
people. It's way more than I thought it would be. I thought we were gonna get way more new era people. I in fact spoke to friend of the show, Rome,
Yeah,
and Rome said that I think he thinks at one point it was a lot more new people, and then y'all people started talking, and they were like, "We need a lot more of these old folk
yeah.
up in
It
here."
I am glad that they put in more old people. Like I like the new people that they stuck in. Like I'm really excited that D is coming back. I'm really excited. I believe Jesse's coming back. So like we have some recent favorites, but I'm pretty sure Colby was in the cast too.
Kobe is on this
Like,
cast. Yes, he's back.
like,
Cerie's playing for the sixth
so
time or something.
yeah, like I'm really excited to see these people, and I think it's funny that we didn't get a returnee season for 25th anniversary of Big Brother because I get it that it's 27, but we had returnee seasons in seven and I think 14 and 21.
Well, we had returnee players in 14.
Yeah,
The 13 also had returnee players. Technically, 11 did too. Jesse Goddard came back, was the only returnee in 11 from season 10.
and we're fairly certain we're getting a returnee this year.
Well, I don't know. It's a mystery 17th house guest, CJ. You need to relax. Maybe it's like a Cerie type player. Maybe it's Cerie herself. I think they're back from filming. Cerie maybe decided to go back in the. She did not. There was no way
She did
Cerie
not.
was
There's no
going
way.
back in.
So
Maybe it's
not
Jared.
not Big Brother, but Pilot Pete the Bachelor. I feel like he's been subcontracted to NBC because he showed up on Traders and then he was on Destination X now, and I feel like if he's just touring the reality world, Big Brother's a great spot for him.
Yeah, yeah. It's a nice spot for him to go next. It's a nice spot for him to go next. I mean,
Because I don't think he's ever going to end up on a show like The Challenge.
no, I don't think so either. I don't really see those bachelor people going there too often. We saw one time Chase, but that
Yeah,
Chance Chase something like that. But that was he was there short lived.
yeah,
Short lived. It's not that. They're not. It's not that kind of show.
right.
But CJ, we're here to talk about Big Brother 27. There's been images of the house. We don't really care about the house. The house is fine. Did you see that they're doing a new competition called the BB Blockbuster?
I did not see that. Tell me more.
Yes, the BB Blockbuster. It is the newest spin on the AI Arena.
Good, because we talked about last year how that needed to stay. That was a
Hmm.
welcome change. It added more volatility throughout the week because, the third person, you got to actually have two targets.
Yep. This theme is history. This theme is like a mystery theme for
Yeah.
this season as well. The new players checking to the Hotel Mystère will also be forced to contend with the masked visitor and the secret accomplice that Julie Chen Moonves promises will be very disruptive, according to Entertainment Tonight or Entertainment Weekly. Entertainment Weekly. And the host also revealed in a video released by CBS that the 3 nominee structure from last season will be back. Last year's BBAI Arena was so successful, we're bringing it back. And now it's very rare that there's a twist that is like so universally beloved, such as, I mean, that's how you get game changes, right? The veto was a twist
Yes.
that stuck. This is a twist that I think is going to stick. The last year's BBA Arena was so successful, we're bringing it back, says Chen Moonves. You'll never know who's going home because the house guests will have a last-minute chance to take themselves off the block with the BB Blockbuster. Which is like low-key probably the name. Like, they need a better name because Blockbuster is another mystery theme.
Yeah.
They need something that like...
They can use from season to season.
Yeah. And that way you don't have to rename it all the time, but keep it going. That way it's an easy twist. I'm not seeing any other big twists. The secret accomplice, and then the masked visitor. Outside of that, I'm not really seeing.
So it's funny because I did see the mass visitor and I saw that and I was like, so if we really will have a person visiting, it's not like the AI last year with Ainsley and Janky.
I think it's gonna be a real.
Does that
person.
mean COVID's like over? Because it's gonna be a real person coming in?
No, because they all checked in still like a couple of weeks ago. So I think they'll probably give them a COVID shot, a COVID test, and then probably let them go in the house, or not let them interact with the people at all. Or it might be the person that's like going to go join them.
I guess that's true. It could be that. But I saw that for the mass visitor, they said that they wouldn't know who it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
So probably Derek X.
Maybe he's not doing anything.
I don't think he is. Also, if you're watching us live, make sure you jump in the comments. We'd love to chat with you and keep chatting about the show along with us here. It's me and CJ here at 5 p.m.ers. I think CJ, you're signed for us to launch into the cast.
Can we just skip the first person?
No, man, we have to talk about each and every one of them, and then at the end we will be doing a draft back and forth, just like they did today in the WNBA All Stars. We'll be doing a draft as well. By the way, Jackie Young and Asia are on team Caitlin Clark, along with Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston. So I don't know if you knew that.
That's funny.
And Fee got Stewie. But, I digress. Talking about, just the W. Like to do things topically. But anyway, we are going to be starting right now, talking with the very first house guest, Adrian Rocha?
Rocha? I don't know.
Rocha?
I hated this guy.
This kid is 23. His hometown is San Antonio, Texas. And he said he is a carpenter. CJ, what is your initial reactions on this guy?
So I watched the Matt Bloom videos for all of the house guests today. He was by far my least favorite, and it was funny because he's first. So then I was just in a bad mood for the rest of the video. He's that bad.
What were some of the things that you did not like about what he said?
So he claims he's a super fan.
No,
but like
CJ, he said, I'm glad you started there. He said, I don't even like saying super fan. I am the best fan.
So, translation, he's a super fan. He talks about how, like, he's trained for comps. He's slept on the ground. He's made his own wall comp. He has wall comp Wednesdays at home. Like, the way that he talked about the game, he's talking about how he's going to dominate. It just screams someone that wants to come in and play too hard, too fast. Like, his plan is to win the first HOH so that he could set up a big majority of alliance early on and then run the house. I'm like, that never ends well.
I mean, that's kind of how, like, that used to be the way to go. Now, though, if you win the first HOH, you usually go home pretty quickly so far, recently. Looking at Riley, looking at Frenchie, looking at who won the first HOH last year?
Angela.
Angela stuck around, but she was not in nothing.
Well,
So
that was the thing is Angela stuck around, but Angela stuck around because they could always get rid of her later.
true, and she was never really going to be the person that's going to win.
Because they gave her like she not only did she win a veto, but they like gave her vetoes because they're like we can get rid of this woman whenever, and if we don't get rid of her, she's drawing dead. To be drawing dead from 14 is insane.
True. It's a long stretch to not be in the game, basically.
Yeah.
That's how that's seen. And let's see if there was a couple things that stood out here that I was like, I don't know about him. Mike asked him, what makes Big Brother such a successful show? And he said, the reason why I love Big Brother, and I think why the fans love coming in, is because of the drama and the strategic play. Yeah, honestly, sometimes it's Big Brother. We all have pretty faces. But to be fair, you could get that anywhere. This is not The Bachelor. This isn't Love Island. This isn't other TV shows. This is Big Brother. This is backstabbing. This is lying. This is strategic manipulation. This is social influencing. Now, a lot of that is true, right? But a lot of it is reading the people you're with. If someone wants to play an honest game, we just watched this last season of Survivor, and Joe and Eva were so intent on playing an honest and truthful game. If that's all you're trying to do, you're not going to make it to the end.
No, not at all.
Luckily, Kyle was able to pretend like he was playing an honest game while he was still being a little schemy.
It's funny because the way that he talked about it, um, it it gave me Brandon Hance vibes. Where I think he's gonna come in, he's gonna think he's great, he's gonna try to do all this shit, and he's just gonna fall on his face. I think he's gonna go home quick.
So, okay, you think you're going to go him quick. So, easy question. Does Adrian make jury?
Nah.
You say no. I say yeah. I think being a super fan ish person will get you through the beginning, but it won't get you that far. In the chat, if you think he'll make jury, let us know. I have Adrian making jury.
I don't, and it's funny because as I went down the video, I made a list as I went because every year we do this, and I struggle to come up with enough. All right, I end up having too many people not making the jury. So I was like, let me lay this out ahead of time so that I have a coherent argument. And this is the first year in forever that I have too many people making jury instead of not enough people making jury.
There's just a lot of people in this cast you didn't like, huh?
There's a lot of people in this cast that I see they could potentially go far if things go right for them.
Okay, but it just got to break the right way.
It's just got to break the right way. And as we go through them, I can make those arguments. But this kid, I think his whole I think he's going to come in guns blazing. I think he's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. And I think he's going to be out very quickly.
Okay. Well, then let's bring up our next person. That leads us to Amy Bingham. Right? Amy Bingham, she is 43, a little bit older. She's from Stockton, California. She's an insurance agent, and I like that top. She has some big lips though.
When I first saw her, I was like, oh, she's like a lost sister of the Bella twins.
Older than Nikki.
Yep.
Older than Nikki, but
older than Brie.
Older than Brie, obviously they're twins. But you know, I think it's cool to have an older person on the show.
But
right?
It's funny because you say it's good to have an older person on the show. She's only 43 and she's the second oldest person on the cast, which means we're skewing younger again.
Young-ish. I saw some 30-year-olds, right? So
there was
some people in their 30s.
It was a few 30-year-olds, but like prior to the last couple of seasons, it was very common to have one or two 40 or 50-year-olds and then everyone else in their 20s.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting because she has a kid at least.
She has 3.
She has 3 kids. Okay, so one of her sons said that her biggest weakness is telling the wrong person the wrong thing. So I might trust the wrong person. I have to be careful of that. If I let my guard down and I spill the beans and tell someone something I probably shouldn't, so I have to be very careful of that and mindful of who and what I say. And I think that part's interesting because she has people to help check her at the house, right? In terms of her sons, her son,
Yeah.
her kids. Also, though, she seems maybe single because they said, "Would you go over to a showman's?" She said she'd be down for a showman's if the right showman's partner was in the house. I don't know about that at 43. Maybe something that maybe a what's it, a May December romance type deal. But her son was like, no. He's like, Mom, no romances, don't do it. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll listen to him. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. There's only one other person that's like age appropriate. But
I mean, age ain't nothing but a number, right?
I don't know if we can even say that anymore. Because R. Kelly is like definitely banned.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that
Especially because now when you put it into context, he was talking about that with Aaliyah. And age was way more than a number because she was like 14.
oh yeah, that was creepy. Do we I don't think she gets a cougar cub this season.
Okay.
But I also
Okay.
don't think she's going to be looking for one because the way that she talked in her interview is she was positioning herself to be the mom of the house. At
Okay.
43, that age gap isn't huge because there's a lot of 20 somethings, late 20s, early 30s, but it's also big enough that it could end up getting you ostracized just because you don't quite fit in. Because, like, I turn 39 next month, and I question whether I would fit in age wise with the people in the Big Brother. Like, do I become Unk or am I too old to fit in with the kids? Because fitting in is one of the ways you go far in the game.
Yeah, and I mean, I think for us, we have passed our prime for playing the game. It is even if you try to come in as like an older person, we're not old enough to be an old person,
Yeah.
but I'm like not young enough to play with the kids.
It's similar to like when you see like a 31-year-old on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette,
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, you're just too old for this. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not old, but for what they have, you are too old. And I think at 43, it's an uphill battle to win because part of winning is connecting with the jury. And I don't know if you can make that connection to get enough votes because those votes, although it's gameplay, it also comes down to relationship building.
exactly, and being able to connect with the different players to help build that story, right? The oldest player to ever win was Dick Donato, right? Evil Dick. And
Yeah.
those are particular circumstances. And he was 44 at the time. Um,
And
outside of,
the age gap argument wasn't as big then as it is now.
well, I think it was, but the situation was different, right? And I say that because him having Danny in there, him being her father, we were dealing with other aspects in BB-8.
So you think he was essentially protected because of the
No, 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 no,
relationship?
no, 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 no. No, him being old was secondary to the fact that he's there with his daughter. Like, I wasn't thinking about the fact that he's old because I was thinking about the fact that I got to get this father or daughter out. Either one.
That's fair.
Because that was him being older and Dick didn't relate to the people. Dick was a menace.
Yeah.
And whereas Amy here is going to want to relate being an older lady. And like if I played, we would try to relate. Dick wasn't trying to fit in. He was trying to get people out. That was just it.
And it's funny because like I feel like I would identify more and hang out more with the kids, but I would be pigeonholed into hanging out with Amy because of our ages.
Correct. Correct. The next oldest person to win was Boogie, and he won All Stars, and he was
Different world.
36. But it's a different world, 100%, because on a returning season, everybody's older.
Well, not only is everybody older, but everyone has at least tangential knowledge of each other.
Yes.
Like there's pre-existing relationships going into any returnee season that's not there with new people. So with
And
new
he was
people,
there with Will.
yeah, exactly. And like when you go in with all brand new people who don't know each other, they're going to like geography will play a role in it, ethnicity will play a role in it, age will play a role in it, education will play a role in it. People are going to gravitate towards the people they would gravitate to outside of the house.
Right.
I would gravitate towards the younger people, but they may not gravitate towards me.
Yep. Yep. And um, with those things being said, the next youngest is Derek and Casey at 30. So that's a wrap.
See,
So
it's a young
we
person's
have
game.
yeah, 44 for Dick, 36 for Boogie, and then 30 for Derek and Casey being first time players, right? No, and those two with no gimmicks, and even Derek felt old.
Yes.
Derek felt old at 30. Context: Cody is the fifth youngest winner at 22, or at 29 on BB 22 when he came back 6 years later.
That's hilarious.
Right? So that's the context. Cody plays with Derek. Derek wins at 30. Cody wins 6 years later and is 29 at that point when he wins.
And he's old.
Right, which means Derek and Cody were playing together when Derek was 30 and Cody was 23.
Yep.
That's the context of this. We say all this, unfortunately, because Amy's chances of winning, though she seems very nice and very motherly, I just don't see it.
So when I was just saying with Adrian that there's pathways for a lot of people to get to jury, there's definitely a pathway for her to get to jury, but I don't see a pathway for her to win.
Right. And that's the hard part because for Amy here, I have her getting to jury. She's the mom figure. She connects with the kids, but like as a mom, and she has kids. As long as she doesn't play too hard, like Brooklyn, I see her getting the jury.
And it's funny because I have five listed right now that I had as going home pre-jury, and then I have five more that I'm trying to pick two from. And she's on that list, and it has nothing to do with the fact that I don't think she's good enough. I just worry about that age gap.
But like lately, we've seen. I'm not trying to push you in either way, but I feel like lately we're seeing more and more older people get deeper into the game.
Yes.
Angela, Felicia, Sari, Donnie.
Mm-hmm.
Even Donnie, I think it was like 36 or something like that at the time. But like we're seeing older people get deeper into the game. Even Terrence, right? Deeper into the game.
Yep. Did
Not
Terrence make jury? I feel like he went home pre-jury.
They got him out like right before. He was the last one to go out right before. But he was just like a despicable person though, right? So like, that's a difference. If he's a nice person, they let him stick around.
Because that's the other thing is demeanor and attitude will get you sent home quick. If I don't like you, I don't need to live with you.
Right. So do you have her making jury?
We're going to circle back.
I need an answer, sir. There's no circling back. I need a split decision answer. Yes or no?
Then yes.
Okay. That leads us to our next person. We have Miss Ashley Hollis. Ashley is 25, originally from Chicago, currently living in the Big Apple, New York, and she's an attorney. I'm assuming she's going to not tell people she's an attorney.
She is not going to tell people she's an attorney. She is smart.
That's usually how that works.
Upon first view of all the videos, she was my favorite.
Okay.
With that said,
I like this purple top.
Oh, it's a great look on her. She was my favorite just based off of what she talked about, her strategy coming in the game. My fear is she started watching with the cookout season. So
Okay.
because a lot of her references were Taylor and Chelsea.
Okay. And so BB23, as you know, I've talked about it so much on here.
Yes.
BB23 is so important to me and is so influential on my life. If you came in for the first time and watched BB23, just like if you came for the first time and watched BB15, your view on this, how this works, will be skewed and incorrect. Right?
Yes.
If you watch BB15 for the first time, you think they're only racist on the show. That's not how all the seasons go. If you watch BB23 and say, "Oh, look at all the black folk," that's also not how this goes.
So it's funny because BB23, like I watched when we lived together and then we didn't live together and then I went back to watching until the people I liked went home.
Yeah.
Then we started doing podcasts, so I started like watching again with 21, I want
Yeah.
to say. And BB23, there's a clear delineation with recent cast of people who watched before and people who watch after.
Yeah.
And I think she's done the homework and has watched multiple seasons, but I think 23 is what roped her in. So I don't know if she will have all of the strategy down the way that I would say she needs to, but I think she's smart enough that it may not matter.
One thing that's concerning to me is that a lot of these answers are about being an attorney.
Yes.
She's also 25, so it's not like she's tried a ton of cases.
Yeah, so that she did talk about having gone to Georgetown, and how this, winning that 750K will help make up for the 250 she owes for law school because she's in debt because law school at
Yeah.
Georgetown.
Top 14
She-
law school in the nation, by the way.
Crazy. She also said that what happened to Taylor would never happen to her because she speaks her mind and would speak up. And I'm like,
Listen, Taylor Hale,
unfortunately, no, hold on. Unfortunately, you you can't be the angry black woman at a point. And being a lawyer, even if you keep that to yourself, and being outspoken, like sometimes you just got to let shit slide for the peace of the house. And I'm afraid that might get her.
and like I understand being standing your ground and being up front, but the biggest thing is that like Taylor didn't know a lot of stuff was happening.
Yes,
She also
because
didn't
nobody
know
was
that-
talking to her.
She just thought she just wasn't fitting in, and she didn't know what was going on.
Right.
And then once she found out what was going on, she was like, "It's real deep, and it's real. The sun real low." And then, on top of all that, Taylor Hale walked away with $800,000 and a Lay's brand deal and a job at Entertainment Weekly.
Is Taylor the most universally beloved player from one season in Big Brother history?
Out after Dan,
Dan is the only other person I could even think of that would become close.
yeah, it's Dan Giesling first, Taylor Hale second.
I would argue because of the proximity to the cookout that Taylor's actually first because of essentially what it meant.
But the cookout is loved by us, but it's not loved by everyone.
Oh, true. But then everyone bought in on her. So it was a race thing with the cookout, but it wasn't a race
Everyone
thing.
didn't buy in on Taylor. For the
Initially.
same reason they didn't buy in on the cookout.
Was it the
Same
Lays?
reason- It wasn't the Lays. It's the same reason why I saw some dude destroying Ironheart, and then about 2/3 of the way through his yelling on his rant, he stated, "I will not watch Ironheart," and because Disney keeps pushing this down our throat. And I said, "Wait, you've been yapping for like 7 minutes about why it sucks, and then you said you ain't gonna watch it, so you ain't never even watched it."
You know what's funny to me is he said Disney's pushing it down our throats, but Disney very quietly released it with 2, 3 episode releases. Like, let's just get this shit out of the way so that we
Yeah.
can move on to the next thing.
Though it was good. And so the same reason why people don't want to watch Ironheart, and it was review bombed to hell 10 minutes after it like appeared on Disney Plus.
Yep.
It's the same reason those people don't like the Cookout. It's the same reason why they don't love Taylor Hale.
We're moving
Which
away
is-
from Ironheart first, but I do have to say that the second 3 episodes are way better than the first 3 episodes.
I thought all 6 of them were good, and for different reasons. But that is
We can talk about that after this.
Yeah. So if we're going back to Ashley though, if Ashley connected over here with the Cookout and everything, baby, I love that for you, and I love that definitely. I've had the good fortune of talking to 5 of those 6 members and telling them how much they mean to me in person.
So
This
this
show is not normally that.
So my fear for Ashley, because I really like her, and if you made me pick right now, she's my winner pick. But we still got to talk about everyone, and I make my winner pick at the end. But the question that all of them asked, how will you crush your enemies? My fear for her answer was, I think I'll crush my enemies by being very close to them. I think they're going to think that I'm an ally, but really I'm their enemy. And so they're not going to see me coming, like I said before, and I'll send someone out the back door if I have to. My fear is that kind of gameplay with her complexion will get her painted in a certain light that other people can get away with.
Yes. I do like her strategy, though. And she says her strategy going to the bigger brands is definitely to rely on her social game. I love anyone that wants to rely on a social game. I'm not going to be the one to win competitions in the beginning. I'm not. I'm glad that you understand that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That part's important. I'm only going to win when I have to win. And I think that is also part of my strategy because I want to come off as just like a little lackadaisical girly girl, not a competitor, not a threat. That's how I felt about Tiffany, not Tiffany Mitchell, but Tiffany E on Survivor. That's how I felt about Chelsea. I thought they were just like fun girly girls. But then they said, I got that fire. I got that Tiffany Irvin and then Chelsea
Yeah.
from last season. I got that fire deep in me, and I'm ready for it to come out when I need it to come out. And then I'm going to come out, and I'm going to win. I'm here to play. And so I love that when someone's do that. She said, but really it's all up in here, her head. I'm a mental threat, baby, and I think they're not going to see that coming. And so I think, yeah, I'm going to come in and build my social capital. From day one, I'm going to be clocking who was talking to who's flirting with who. Even if it's me flirting, I'm clocking that too.
Yep.
She then said, there can only be one showman in here, baby. If there is one, it will be mine. If there's a showman, it's me. If there's no showman, it means I got rid of them. That's kind of how she said it.
So it's funny because when I was looking at the pictures, I had her lined up for a showman's. And then I watched the video of the dude I had her lined up with. And I was like, oh, he's boring. And then she's just going to be single.
Yeah, I can see her showmancing up with Keanu or Zach.
That's who I had too.
That was
And
kind of
then-
it.
And then I heard Keanu talk, and yeah, he's boring. I'm not gonna lie, I fast forwarded half of his interview.
I like her strategy. I like her situation here. Will she make jury?
Yes.
You say yes. Kevin says yes as well. Kevin got a lot of people in the jury. We're going to see how this goes. Next.
See, this is
moving
why I
on,
was trying to
moving on.
circle back with Amy, but no.
Oh, yeah, let us know now. Next up, we got Ava Pearl. Ava Pearl is 24, originally from Long Island. Now she resides in New York City. Do you think she knows Amy? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. Ava is an aura painter. Now, I'm not sure what an aura painter is. Is she painting on vibes or is she painting your vibes?
So she said, and describe what you do for a living. I'm an art instructor for teenagers and kids in an after school program, and I also paint aura portraits for people in various New York City parks. When I'm making an aura portrait of somebody, I sit them down, I draw them, and then I paint what I see around them. So the colors that I think best reflect them as a person, and these colors indicate to me who they are as a person, what they may think, how they view the world, etc.
So she does your vibes.
So she picks up a vibe from you and then paints colors around you.
So vibe check, and then she goes blue, black. You look sad, and she's painting the vibes that she feels off you.
Yes, that's what I understood. I'm not gonna lie. This it sounds like a made up Gen Z job. Not to sound too boomery of me, but that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I like Loki. I'm not even mad about it. I mean, look at her. Look at how she. Now, Kylie ahead of time. Kylie couldn't be here today, but Kylie messaged me and said, "I'm loving the scarecrow." And then she sent me this photo, and I couldn't unsee it. You
Wow.
can't win. Like this is
Wow.
yeah. Ease on down the road. I just can't. I can't unsee it.
I'm just gonna hop in early, and within a minute of her video, I had already written pre-jury because she came across very unlikable. Like she was talking about how she was going to be cutthroat and ruthless. Like not in those words; those are my words. But she kept referring to auras. So I was like, "Get your hippy dippy shit out of here." And I don't have a problem with hippies. I just have a problem with you. And then she was talking about how what else was she talking about? Oh, she's talking about that she was going to win because she needs the money. But realistically, I know she doesn't watch the show because she said the only reason she applied is because her brother told her to, because her brother is a super fan. So she's living her
why
brother's
don't we have
dream.
him on the show? Why don't we
Right?
have him on the show? Did he die or something? Like I
Um,
want the person that wants to be on the show.
when she was asked if she was going to do a showmance, which I don't see it for her. Um, and it has nothing to do with her appearance. It all has to do with her vibes, her aura portraits, and everything. Like I don't see anybody going for that in the house. She also has a boyfriend, so she doesn't plan on getting in a showmance.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. Them not the boyfriend, but she also said that I could the guy that I like could not pass the background check to get in here, which means she likes some weird, real eyeballs.
She
Eyeballs.
it's funny because the aura stuff and everything, like outside of what she talked about how she would play the game, the aura stuff, similar to the age stuff, I don't know how you fit in. When you're talking about like balancing your chakras and like reading tea leaves in the house, I don't know how long people are going to put up that with that shit.
Yeah, she says she's a witch, man.
Yeah.
She's straight up says she's a witch, and I don't think Cliff is fucking around with a witch. Like I'm being real with it. I don't think Clifton Williams is fucking around with a witch.
I could like I don't see how she makes jury just straight up. I think she's going to end up rubbing people the wrong way, and I think she's going to be out quick.
I do not have Ava making jury either.
That's one for you.
That is one for me. One of my least favorite answers, real fast, wrap it up. They said, would you be a super villain? Or would you be a villain or a hero? And she said that because of her vibes, like she'd be a hero. But if she needs to be a super villain, she'll be a super villain. That's not how that works. You need to have an idea of what you're about to do before you even get in here.
I'm a, I'm gonna be a hero unless they edit me otherwise. That would be my answer.
Right. Well, she said, I'm not afraid to be a villain if I have to be this season. I'm trying to get in there and get this money. If I have to be a supervillain, I gotta be a supervillain. That's not how that works.
I wouldn't be surprised if she fits it. Like, I actually wouldn't be surprised if she fits in fine, but then she just like says the wrong thing to the HOH and pisses him off, and then the HOH puts her up, and they're like, "Well, nobody's working with her. She can go."
I mean, I don't. I with the baby blockbuster, I could see her being one of the ones left, and someone that we really liked, someone we really liked, is up there with her, and we really wanted to get out like the Tucker, but Tucker won, so then it is what it is. It
Yeah,
be what it
and
be.
I don't watching all of the videos, I don't know who she hangs out with. I have one person she might hang out with, and even that I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Next up, we got my guy Clifton Will Williams. Clifton is 50 years old. He's from Wallace, South Carolina originally. Now he lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. He's a college sports podcaster.
He does
Podcast.
women's college hoops.
Ooh. So he be covering North Carolina. He be covering Don's team.
I assume he does ACC, SEC stuff. Maybe he does them all. I didn't look up the podcast.
We gotta check it out. We gotta check it out sometime. For Cliff, they said, "How will you crush your enemies?" He said, "I'm gonna crush my enemies because number one, I know when I walk into the house, I'll probably be the oldest one there." Check. So that's
Check.
everything they've done. I've done it 2 or 3 times. Also, so I'm going to utilize the knowledge, the expertise, and the wisdom because the gray hair is not just a prop; it's real. So the gray hair shows that I've been there a little while, and I'm going to use everything that they think they know. I'm going to use it against them. I like that.
I like that. My only concern for him, because vibe wise, I think he's cool. It's the age gap. I don't think he's gonna be able to make it.
Yeah, I don't think, not a winner. Sorry. Cliff, not a winner.
Yeah, it goes back to the question of when I look at the cast and I just kind of mentally picture people hanging out in the house. I think some of the guys will go hang out with him, but I don't think it's enough to save him. I think he will ultimately end up being expendable, and maybe he goes home at like 11 or 10. But I don't think he's going to go to the jury.
So you have him out earlier than jury.
Yeah.
I'm torn, right? Because like I said, they like to keep the older guys around. I think the vibe is great. Love the red shirt. Former military.
He
got a
doesn't
bunch
plan
of
on
kids.
telling people that he was a career military doing 22 years in the army, which is smart.
Why
He's just
not?
going to talk about sports. Because I think that you're already older. You're going to be viewed as an authoritarian figure if you come in saying that you were career military. I think that it could. I don't think being military at his age will help him in a way that, like, it would have necessarily mattered if Cedric told him he was military last year.
I think it's different. I think being military and an old guy gets you so much more respect.
I think it gets you respect, but I don't necessarily really think it gets you game respect.
I want to make sure this is clear though. Cliff Williams, Captain Will, you're not winning this game.
Nah,
Mainly because you're 50.
correct.
That's literally the only reason.
That-
You could win an All-Star season. If you come back, you could win an All-Star season, but you're not winning this season. Like this, that's just the truth. So
Not to be ageist, but the only reason I have him as pre-jury is because he's 50.
that's why I have him making the jury because I think they want the old people sticking around.
I mean, if we're getting producer intervention, I think he's fine, but I don't think we will.
I don't think we're. I don't think we need it.
Because we're bringing back the AI arena and the BB Blockbuster comp, I think he's another one that can just sit on the block because we need 3 nominees.
But I think he could actually like win that comp.
Depends on what it is.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
funny though, because like last year, I never would have pegged Mackenzie as a comp beast, and then she was. And like the tools were there, we saw it because she was a volleyball player and she's like big and athletic, not big, but like tall and athletic. But we still did like she did well on puzzles too.
Yeah.
And maybe he's a whiz at puzzles and that saves him. But the age concerns me.
Okay.
Unless he gets some Angela type wins.
So you have him not making jury.
Correct.
I have him making jury. I gotta start figuring out who's not making jury.
Correct. Because you only have one.
I only have one so far. Next up, we have Fessy. I mean, Isaiah J. Frederick.
Side note:
Um,
did you see that Fessy is one of the gladiators in the American Gladiators reboot?
I did. Faisal, congrats to him.
I can't
Keeping
wait to
it
hear his
going.
gladiator name.
This guy, Zay. Zay Frederick. Frederick. 23. Hometown, Paducah, Kentucky. Current city, Provo, Utah. Occupation, salesperson.
I feel bad because I've been doing this every year. He's my pick to get canceled, and I don't think it's going to be malicious. I think he's one of the. He's 23. He's from small town Kentucky. Now he lives in Provo, Utah, which is where BYU is. So he's probably religious. This is probably going to be the first time he has any exposure to people of color, gay people, people that are just outside his way of life. And I think he might just say the wrong thing, not knowing that it's a bad thing to say because it's something that he's used to hearing in his life, and he might get canceled. But I thought Angela was going to get canceled, and she did not get canceled for being terrible. She got canceled for crying too much and sucking.
Angela was never canceled. Was
I
Luke?
know.
Did you have Luke? You had Luke though, right? I think you
I
had Luke.
I
And then
think I
you
did
got
too.
Luke.
Yeah.
You got Luke. I think you had Luke, and then you nailed that one.
Yeah.
I don't like this dude.
Why?
I don't like his face. I don't like his hair. I don't like his shirt. There's been two people in the world that I have not liked their face. Joakim Noah and this dude right here. I don't like anything about his face. And then I don't like when I'm looking here. CJ, what's the strategy to come to the house?
He doesn't have one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He
No
was
strategy.
definitely casted for looks.
Yeah. He thinks he's adaptable. There's not even the question about the super fan. He's never seen the show. He's never seen the thing, I'm sure.
Yeah. I think that he might get adopted like a puppy and just be a number in an alliance because he's chill dude. Like when I say that there's a pathway for people to make the jury and not, he was one of the ones that I was on the fence on because I could see him making jury. I could also see him just being an easy cut because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. I
And
have,
watching his video, he didn't really talk about anything.
because he doesn't know anything. This dude
Right.
sucks. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. This dude sucked. I'm
I don't
going with
even
the no.
I don't even think he sucks. I just think he's bland.
He's for sure lame.
Do you think that he finishes with the least amount of DR time on the season?
That one's tough. That one's hard because he could be in a situation where he's won a comp or he's won a HOH or he's like in the middle of some things and then now they have to show you on the show, right? I think he's going to have the least amount of intentional DR time. Like they're not going to have, he's not going, Chelsea narrated the hell out of the season last season,
Yeah, she did.
right? And everything going on, Chelsea was like not just a part of, she was the one talking it through, narrating the show.
I
Not
think
getting
Chelsea was the best talker last season, though, too.
Yeah, and Quinn was fun. Quinn had a lot of quips, and he was a great talker as well. But Chelsea was
Yeah.
not just in the mix; she knew what was going on too, and she was narrating the season. I don't think so. It's hard to say with confessional time. I think you're going to see very little of him unless there's a reason to see him. If that makes sense. Does that make
He,
sense?
I think he's going to be like, not to go back to The Bachelor, but you know on The Bachelor how they come in with like 25 to 30 girls, and there's that one girl that makes it to like 7, but she never got any screen time and never went on a one-on-one date.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's him.
So you have a making jury.
Maybe. I don't know, because he's another one. He could easily be cast off. And it's not the like he played too hard too fast like Adrian. I think he's just, what do you do to benefit my game? Nothing? Okay, bye.
I have him not making jury. Was he in, so is he in your maybe, maybe not group?
He's in my maybe, maybe not group, but as I'm looking at them now, especially since I stuck Amy in, I got to pick between 4 people, and the person we're about to discuss next is on that maybe, maybe not group, but I just like him a lot more, which means I'm cutting Isaiah.
Okay. Sure. Cutting Isaiah. I have him as a no as well. Because I think he sucks. I'm glad you mentioned the next guy, right? Because next we have Jimmy Haggerty. Jimmy is 25 from Sarasota, Florida originally. Currently lives in Washington, D.C. He is an AI consultant. He was on the wrong season. He should have been on Ainsley's season. Jimmy.
He would have sniffed Ainsley out immediately. He's like, this is my job. I know what this is. That's AI. And then they probably would have kicked him out.
Yes. Well, I like the fact that he said he's a solid fan. Not a super fan, a solid fan. I've seen most of the seasons, not all of them. Started watching with my mom primarily around the earlier seasons, around BB10. Great season to come in on. And then I've just like watched since. So I've been seeing a lot of the show. I wouldn't consider myself a super fan. He understands that. But I'm definitely a big fan of the show and definitely understand how the ins and the outs of the show work. The unique characters that exist and really how to play a solid game that you really want to win, right? Not showing all your cards at once, but moving strategically throughout the game. He gets it.
And that's why I liked him. The way that he talked about it, it was a very, like, he has a very good grasp of it. The way he described it is how I'd probably describe myself. I would be considered a super fan because I have a podcast, but like, realistically, I'm a solid fan. Like, I forget most of the house guests and the seasons and everything on a year-to-year basis. Like, there's very few people that stick out to me in the way that they do with super fans. I'm on this guy's boat. I like this guy a lot. My concern, and why I had him on the bubble, is I think that unlike the others that I talked about getting cut before jury, my concern is that he might actually be too well liked and might be one of those early cuts where, like, if he makes it to jury, he can win. And that's my fear for this guy.
The only problem with that fear is that even if you're like too well liked and you make it to jury, like they don't usually cut those people before the jury. They get rid of those people before you could win the game, but like
True.
not just before the jury.
But you only need one person to decide that he's the enemy, and then things could go wrong.
Okay, I mean you're not completely wrong. Like
I said, I was deciding between him and Isaiah, and I like Jimmy a lot more, which is why he's not getting cut.
Well, I like the fact that Jimmy is like, they asked him if he was going to be a villain, so I'm definitely more of a villain than a hero. But see, when I say that, most people actually tell me I'm more of a hero. So I think it can go either way. In my mind, I'm more of a villain. I tell it how it is, and I'm guessing shit. I don't know if I can say shit, but I kind of am. So I also read it down. I read it down very consistently. Um, So I think I'm definitely leaning more towards the villain side. But again, a lot of people tell me I'm good natured and a lot nicer than I am, than I think I am. So who knows? Maybe I could be a hero, maybe a villain who's a hero.
I
Anthony hero, I'm guessing. Does that work?
I think he's a hero, but I think that similar to Quinn being a hero, they could edit him as a villain. Because Quinn was not a villain, but he got the villain edit for some reason because America loved, well, casuals love Tucker.
Yeah.
And I think it could be similar here, where the fans really like him, and the casuals hate him for some reason.
Okay, so you have Jimmy making the jury.
Yes.
I also have Jimmy making the jury. I feel like I got to start finding some people that are not making jury soon.
I would
But
just like to tell you that there are 10 people left, and you got to cut 5.
okay, well I'm good. I'm good on that because next up we have Catherine Wood, man, and Catherine outside of the show, Mans doesn't make jury in my opinion. Catherine's 23. She's from Georgia, Gwinnett County, Georgia. Currently lives in Columbia, South Carolina. She's a fine dining server. Well, she's just a waitress.
So when I talk about not being a super fan, there was Mackenzie, and then there was the other blonde last season, and I can't remember her name.
Leah.
Leah. I could see her playing a Leah game, going in, not knowing what she's doing. People just don't mind her, and she makes it to like 6.
Leah has some strategy though.
Leah tried. Yeah, Leah's strategy was to attach with Angela, which is not strategy. That's
That
game
became the
suicide.
strategy. That became the strategy. That wasn't the original strategy. Her original strategy was to attach with Matt.
Yeah.
Then Matt went home. She said that she's a super fan. Honestly, I'm a big fan. I love the show. I'm very entertained by it. Super fan, not so much. I wish I was. I think it would really help my preparedness. But I have seen a few seasons and I love it. It was something that I got kind of hooked on immediately in the past year and a half. So, I mean, where are we at fan level wise?
I think she. I think when she got casted, like got a casting interview, she was like, "I should probably watch this show."
Should probably check it out. Should probably check it out. See what's going on here.
Yeah, I think somebody came into her restaurant or bar, scouted her there. She got a call. They talked to her. She was like, "If I might actually end up on this show, I should probably look into it." I don't think she wins. I could see her going to jury. I think if she goes to jury, she goes to the challenge. We will see her on MTV in the future.
Jury, no jury. You will see her on the challenge.
Going to the jury would help that, though.
Catherine, congratulations on your new reality TV career.
Yep.
Even though the challenge is starting to skew older. I mean, they said that the people realize that their audience is in the 37 to 45 demo now.
I think part of the reason that the challenge is skewing older, though, is it's become like legit athletic competition. Because if you've watched the last few seasons, there's far less drama. It's more about the game itself. And the drama doesn't come from shit that happens outside of the game. It comes from what happens within the game.
I think that's not why it's skewing older. I think it's skewing older because the people playing they haven't gotten too many. That a lot of the young kids haven't caught on, so the old vets are the ones that people are continuing to watch and stuff.
Yeah. Which is why I
And
feel
there's
like the finals might be getting easier.
yeah, because they got to because their bones are old. Johnny's old, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
Johnny's known for many years.
Yeah. The all water swimming final, I was like, oh, we're trying to take care of their knees. Got you.
Yeah. Can't have them run like that. Catherine, I don't now have her making the jury. She's cute though. I think she'll be in a showman's, but I don't think she'll make a jury.
I do have her making jury because I have her in a showman's.
Okay. Next up, we have Keanu. Keanu Soto. He is 33 from Miami, originally lives in McKinley, Texas. His occupation is dungeon master. Now, I'm confused.
I didn't know that
Confused.
you could get paid to be a DM.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, he's a personal trainer also.
Okay, so personal training that lines up for this line of this build.
Yeah.
I think as a DM though, I think he'll be able to think outside the box.
I it's funny because I talked about, so he was the interview that I just fast forwarded halfway through because I was like, I'm done listening to you, you're boring. But being a DM, like, you got to be able to think on your feet. You got to be a great storyteller. You got to have a solid grasp of what's going on and be able to think 3 steps ahead. He should be excellent at this game.
Yeah, yeah, and I think he will be.
But he might be terrible in the DR.
Um, it's tough because I think I'm torn here, right? Because I think him as a game player, I think will be good because he is physically gifted. He is going to be quick on his feet because he's a DM. So he's going to have to figure things out. He's probably pretty funny as well. I think he's going to end up seeing as a big threat. But I think that he's going to be tempted by the person we're going to talk about next.
It's funny
Not
because
not the one talking about next, the one we're going to talk about in a little bit.
okay. That I was say, really, really, okay.
Not next,
So,
not next, not next, not next.
it's funny because if I were in the house and somebody told me they were a dungeon master, it would put a red flag on them for me because I
But not
know
for most
how.
people.
But not for
D&D
most people because I know how Dungeons and Dragons is played, and I know what that means. But it's funny because I feel like he should go in and tell people that because he's already going to be perceived as a huge physical threat just by the look of him. And then say, oh, I'm also a dungeon master. Oh, he's a nerd. He's fine. And that can get him pretty far.
And he's a fan, right? He said his big moment that stands out to him in the 25 years is season 6 with Maggie and Kaser.
Yeah.
Like, you're not just watching season 6
He's been around the block.
out of nowhere. Like, it's
Only reason he would be watching season 6 out of nowhere is if he got season 21 All Stars as part of the like watch list while they were being sequestered, and then he was like, "I want to know more about this Kaser guy."
I guess. Like, even then, you're not watching 21 and being like, Kaser was a person I really need to learn more about. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, that's just not how that's going to work for me.
Yeah,
I think it's, he hits so many different pieces. He's definitely a fan here. I got Keanu making jury.
same.
Keanu making the jury. I think he's gonna be a showmance. I have him making the jury. Keanu Soto. All right, and I still need to come up with like 4 people that are not making jury.
Yeah, you now have 7, and you got to get rid of 4.
Next, we have Kelly Jorgensen. Kelly is 29. She's from Burbank, South Dakota, and she's a web designer.
So, you know what I think of her aesthetic? I think she was trying to be Topanga.
Did not succeed.
Did not succeed. Like, if someone said dresses Topanga from memory, I think that's what we would get.
If I did from memory, hair got to be frizzier first and foremost.
It's funny because when I think, if you said draw Topanga for memory, she would actually end up looking more like Blossom. But, you know. Anyway, Kelly, there was no red flags about her. She seems very well adjusted and like interested in playing the game. But when I look at her and I listen to what she talks about how she grew up on a farm, she's a solo traveler, she is an entrepreneur that has a couple of successful businesses, but she doesn't want to tell people about it. she kind of just seems like a loner. And if you're a loner, who do you hang out with?
Right.
And that's my concern for her in this game is I don't know how you go far when you don't have many friends.
You hang out with Ava.
That was the person who I was talking when I said Ava, there's only one person I could see her hanging out with, and I don't know if it happens. Kelly was that one person, but Kelly being from South Dakota, I don't know if she's willing to deal with like witchy hippie Ava.
Yeah.
Like farm I don't see farm girl who works in tech dealing with that.
Do you have Kelly making jury?
I don't, and it's only because of the who does she hang out with question.
I also do not have her making jury. Um, rough life. Rough life.
Yeah.
Rough life. Next up, though, we have one of, in my opinion, Keanu's two possible showmances, Lauren Domingue. Lauren is a Southern belle from Lafayette, Louisiana. She's 22 and she's a bridal consultant.
I got America slash Mackenzie vibes from her.
Okay. What are the America vibes?
I think it was the look more than anything. I think stylistically, like the way that they dressed and presented her, I got vibes of America. I don't think that she plays a Mackenzie game because playing a Mackenzie game is very difficult. I don't think she ends up in a showmance with a nerd and then is ostracized by the rest of the house. Because like I she says she's a huge super fan, but she's not going to tell anyone. So I don't think that she's going to end up like America where she's pitching ideas and nobody wants to hear them. But I also don't know if she's charismatic enough to lead a group.
She's so young.
Yeah.
She's so young. She's a super fan though. Like she's not a super fan, she says, but like she is a super fan.
She is a super fan.
She name checks Keisha's birthday. She name checks Dan's funeral. Like,
When
she
she
knows
so
what she's talking about.
anyone who says Dan's funeral, I'm like, okay, you're like in this. But then she name checked Keisha's birthday. Oh, you're a super fan. Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. No, I want you here. I want
Yeah.
you here. I loved America, right? I love this kind of player. She's down for a showmance. She's one of two people. Keanu, I can see him showmancing her and one other girl. That's why I have Keanu pegged for a showmance with.
I had Keanu with Ashley. I think that Lauren is too young for him. I actually have Lauren paired up with somebody else later.
Me too. I have him. It's gonna either be her or one other person a little bit later, and her name's other than him.
Yes. And it's funny because I have, now that we're talking about showmances, I also had Catherine paired up with someone whose name started with an R. And I think that her and Lauren will be adversaries for this guy's attention.
Interesting. Okay, so you have Lauren making it to jury.
I have Lauren making it to jury. I have Catherine making it to jury. I don't have their love interest making it to jury.
How many more people do I need to have not making jury?
3.
3.
3.
3.
And there are, including Lauren, there are 6 people left.
Okay, I got 3. So I have her making jury.
Okay.
I have Lauren Domingue making jury. This draft is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it is.
CJ, Kevin, no. Except yes. CJ, yes.
I have a yes.
Okay. Next up, we have Miss. I don't have her lined up yet. Miss
Mickey's gonna be
Mickey
very
Lee.
offended by this.
Miss Mickey Lee from Jacksonville, Florida. Lives in Atlanta, Georgia. She's an event curator. She's 35. And she has done some of the most girly things as well as she's done some of the roughest things. She's back and forth. From ROTC to heck, planning birthday parties and whatever else you can think of. I dominate in a city that's full of men. I have to do a lot of business with them and dominate easily. And so I think I'll win in the Big Brother house just because I have the talent of being very charming, being a person that people don't think is a threat. I think I'm going to use that to my advantage, and I'm going to be a neutral party. I'm going to be everyone's favorite person, and then when it's time, I'm going to strike and make my move. Your thoughts on Mickey?
She talks about what's your strategy in this game. So my strategy in the house is definitely to be a person that no one pays attention to in the beginning. I want to be a girl's girl. I want to be everyone's favorite, everyone's friend. Ask about others and more invest in others. Allow them to feel better about themselves and see you as less of a threat. So that's her actual strategy. My concern for her is that she's going to be so wrapped up with being a girl's girl and end up in some kind of all female alliance that they always make. I think she's going to be cut because of it.
Okay.
I think that like the way she talks about her life experience, the fact that unfortunately at 35 she's older, um, although she'd probably hang out with Amy. Um, I just don't. It's the who does she hang out with question again,
Yeah.
and that's how I make a lot of my pre-jury selections. Is I'm looking around the house and I'm like, who are you going to hang out with? Well, if you're going to hang out with the girls, not all the girls, like, you're not going to cut 7 dudes before jury. There's going to be some collateral damage.
Right. It, for me, I like the profile, but I don't feel the vibes, right? She
That's
doesn't
exactly what it is.
She doesn't feel authentic.
Because, another question that was asked, what will be your secret weapon in the house? My secret weapon in the Big Brother house is definitely going to be a charm, a little bit of flirting, which gets me a long way sometimes, and just being a genuine person, or at least what they might think is a genuine person. So, I don't think her flirting is going to work, just looking at the age gaps and everything. I also don't think, like, if you come across as fake, they will get rid of you because they're looking for reasons to get rid of people before jury. And I just fear that, especially with 3 people on the block, she's another one that could just sit up there and be expendable.
Yeah. I don't love the fact that she like watched before, tuned in occasionally, heard about the cookout, watched Taylor season, locked back in. So then she's had Jag season, and then she had Chelsea season, and then here she is.
Of the post All Star season, Jag season is the worst.
Yeah, yeah. Of the pre All Star season, Jag season is one of the worst. So like,
Outside of like the Jackson Mickey season for other reasons.
yeah.
Like
If
that's the thing. Jag season is the worst in the non-racist division.
yeah. I mean that's easy to say, I think, right?
Yeah. Because every other season we talk about being poor, a lot of it had to do with racism and house guest behavior. But Jag season just sucked.
Yeah,
And it's funny because that was the Cirie Felicia season, but the challenges were so skewed towards physicality without puzzles and everything. They just ran the house. And like, Jag sucked, Bowie sucked, Matt didn't hear us.
CJ, was the best move when you joined the mafia with me and Matt?
No.
No, that wasn't your best move.
No. My best move was tuning out, except I couldn't because we were covering it on the podcast. I would have turned that season off like week 6.
Yeah, yeah. It,
When Sari blew up her game for Jared is when I would have turned that season off.
it's the hardest part about all of it though is the fact that you, Mickey, have seen only those seasons, and like you might have gone back and seen the other ones, but you saw those in like real time,
Yeah.
and seeing those in real time makes this just difficult.
Yes.
The TV line has Jag season as the 20 as the seventh worst season, with BB 18, 19, 9, 22, 22 coming behind it, 15, 21, 1 bringing up the rear, but those two of those is for problematic reasons, and one is because this game is not that game anymore.
If going back and watching BB1, Survivor 1, and like old challenges, it's a mind fuck watching what they were and what they became. And going back to Adrian, that's the real reason why I didn't like him. I got Jerry and Survivor Australia vibes from him, the way that he talked about the game.
Oh, okay. Okay, but I can see that. You hated that guy, so you're gonna hate watch him. For
Yes.
Mickey, do you have Mickey making the jury?
No.
I also do not have her making the jury, partially because I have to, also partially because I just don't feel it from her.
I couldn't come up with a reason why she would, so she was out.
That makes sense. And that leads us to the next person on this list, Miss Morgan Pope. Morgan Pope, boom. There she is. Now, Morgan is 33. She's from Palm Springs, California. She lives in Los Angeles, California. Her job is she's a gamer and a model.
Yep.
And
she ran track in college.
She's going to be Keanu's new girlfriend. That's what.
And that makes me sad because I have a crush on Morgan.
I do too. I do too. She's a former Division I track star. She was raised to be determined and strong-willed, resilient, keep fighting no matter what.
So
she's a big fan.
I needed to know what she played. Because she's a gamer, and I'm trying to find what it said, but it sounded like she played Call of Duty and Fortnite.
Okay. Yeah, she said her main game is a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
But I also love playing survival games. So maybe like Left 4 Dead or...
No, because when she talked about the survival games, she was talking about them being battle royal games.
Oh, okay, so Fortnite.
That's why I said it sounds like she plays Call of Duty and Fortnite, and I think she might be a streamer. If gamer is her actual job and she's a model, I wouldn't be surprised if she just like does Twitch.
Listen, if Morgan is not a streamer, she should be streaming. Like, you play the games, you're also attractive. It just makes sense. This is gonna help with the pub. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She wakes up, turns her PC on, and then she games till sundown. She's definitely streaming, dog.
She's got to be.
Yeah, she's got to be streaming. Like, and she's not against the showmance.
She said she's willing to use a showmance to go wherever it needs to go. Like,
and she's an athlete, and she has like her mom is a big fan, so she done watch this show. Keanu's in trouble, dog. Keanu's in trouble.
I think we're all in trouble. I'm gonna be real. She was never going home pre-jury for me because I don't want to see her go. That's it. I don't even remember half of her answers. I was just like, I have a crush, so she's staying, and then I moved on to Riley.
I, this, I think I have her making jury for sure. Um, L.A.
It's funny.
native.
It's funny. I didn't even think about putting her with Keanu. I thought she was just going to be single.
Nah.
But you
I
said it,
had
and I
her.
see it. They'd be
Yeah,
really. They'd have really pretty babies.
they have really pretty babies.
Keanu's a good-looking dude too. Like,
Yeah, they
but
have
I don't have a crush.
really pretty athletic babies.
Yes.
And probably like she's a gamer and he's a D&D player. My guy, this is like forget Lauren. I think I think I just figured it out.
Real talk about her game strategy though. When she talks about being a gamer, and she's like, this is why I was very curious what game she plays. Like, if you are playing Call of Duty and you're playing, like, I don't think Call of Duty as much as Fortnite specifically. Fortnite, you have to be very flexible with your strategies because there's different ways to win because of weapon drops and maps changing and everything. In a way that Call of Duty, you can kind of just memorize stuff and then just hide in a corner and shoot people. So I'm curious how adaptable her strategy is going to be. If she's going to kind of bounce around alliances, is she going to be a floater? Is she going to be in a showman's? I couldn't really figure out what I think her game path is because she talks so much about being a gamer, and I don't know what that means.
Right. Right. Um I think that she thinks being a gamer means more than it does.
Same.
Um which is fine. I mean, Blue said she was a brand strategist and she didn't want to tell people that even though she didn't really do anything.
Yeah,
But
she was an influencer.
yeah. She's definitely an influencer now. That was kind of really the goal.
Yep.
Um I think her athletic ability, I think her connectivity with the people, I think her fan knowledge was going to help her a lot. I think her being a gamer and like having to connect with an audience is also going to help a ton. It's not going to be the game part of it, but it's the streaming part of it that's going to be a big asset.
I think she's going to be excellent in the DRs if she does Twitch.
Yes,
And it seems like she does Twitch.
yes. And then right after that, she's gonna go on to TikTok and start begging for money like Kylan and Jack. Get a galaxy, whatever. Next up, oh, do you have to make a jury? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Of course, me too.
Of course.
Next up, Riley Jeffries. Riley Jeffries. He is 27 from Luther, Oklahoma. He's a professional bull rider. I guess does he mean he's on a PBC tour? I don't know. Is there anything other than PBC? I don't even know.
I don't know. I was still looking for Morgan's Twitch.
Oh well. While we're here at Riley though, Riley thinks he's gonna be a hero. He's just a country boy. Like I said, I'm not a mean person. I'm not the type of guy that likes to go out and just get my revenge. I want everybody to succeed. I want everybody to win in life, and that's just the type of person I am. So yeah, I see myself as a hero. I feel like when you talk about it, you gotta talk like that.
I don't think he is a like PBR bull rider because he only has 5,800 followers on Instagram and
Okay.
it's a private account.
Okay, so probably not PBR then.
Probably not.
Lower bull riding.
I would guess so, but like he's in Oklahoma, I'm sure there's plenty of opportunities to do it.
Right, right. Um, would you get in the showmans? Knows no boundaries, man. I mean, if a woman comes in and my heart sees what it sees and loves what it loves and feels what it feels, that's time to tell. That's for time to tell. That's for the BB house to tell. I don't know what's going to step in that door, so I don't know what kind of women are going to be out there. But I reckon what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the same amount of genuine love and care. When I have to give, what I bring to the table, that's what I expect in return. I know nobody's perfect. I know not everybody's in the same or whatnot. But just like me, just like you, and just like everybody else out here in the world, they know that they deserve. They know what they want.
So, two things. Number one, I have
Excellent
Catherine and
reading by me.
Lauren. I have Catherine and Lauren fighting for his affection
Interesting. Okay.
because they're both Southern women. I can see them both going after a cowboy.
Uh huh.
I don't know which one wins, but I have him going out pre-jury. He is my last pre-jury pick,
Okay.
and those two women will both be in the house sad about it in my house. The second thing I have is he's never seen the show.
Didn't know. Not a second. Parents,
So
family, fans. Him, not a second.
So I'm not going to do the accent, but I'm going to say he was asked, "What are some standout moments from the past 25 years of Big Brothers?" He says some of the
Read it
best
right.
moments.
Read it
No,
right, CJ.
do you read
Do
it?
it. You do it. You got it. You got it right here. It's just the two of us. You
I
got
read
it.
it.
Come on.
Some of the best moments are just seeing people win, just seeing the people who really strategize and compete to the very end because they know that they want. They dying. Seeing people win, just seeing the people who really strategize and compete to the very end because they know what they want. That's some of the best moments to ever see, especially winning the competitions whenever they need to be won. Sounds very vague because he's never seen the show.
Even vaguer. He said, why do you want to compete on Big Brother? I would say family. Mom and dad are super fans. My brother, my sister, they're all super fans. I mean, they're literally watched it since season one. When everybody watched it, it's like, oh, I want to go do that. I want to go do that. And I'm here. I get a chance to actually go win this deal. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to let it slip out my fingertips. They're going to have to try to yank it from me. They're going to try to pull this for me as hard as I can. All y'all out there. I mean, to get me out of this place, it's going to be a hard time. Everybody, I'm here to stay. I'm here to win, and that's the only reason I'm here. I'm here to win. You just said, man, that you ain't never watched it yourself. Your whole family watches, and you've been on that bull. So you ain't even know what's happening out here.
Also, how does that happen? If your whole family watches a show, do you just leave the room?
Yeah, yeah. Or like while they're doing it, you're like on your iPad. So you're like never watching. You're never actually watching the show.
Because like my wife watches Phineas and Ferb, and like I don't leave the room when she watches it, and she's seen every season. And I'm just like, yeah, I've seen some Phineas and Ferb, but I couldn't imagine not seeing Phineas and Ferb. So like
Right.
your whole family watches Big Brother. How do you not watch Big Brother? Like when we were roommates, we had roommates that did not watch Big Brother, but they watched Big Brother when we watched Big Brother.
Because we were watching Big Brother, and that was what's happening in our house.
Yeah.
Like it's just weird because he for him to not know nothing. Wild, wild.
Weird. It's
I do
weird.
not have him going very far. It's gonna be a fun little quick little trip for him. Next up, we have one of our last two. We have next up
Wait,
Vince.
do you have him making jury?
No,
All
Riley,
right.
out of here. I have next up Vince Pinero, and Vince is 34 from West Hills, California. He doesn't have a job. He's chilling, like he's watching TV. He at the he's on the couch. He also
Yep.
dresses like he don't have a job, but like that's different.
It's funny because when I saw his picture, I was like, oh, there's no way he was making jury. And then I heard him
Yeah.
talk, and I was like, oh, like he comes across as genuinely likable. So he might make jury.
His
It-
life outside the Big Brother world. I don't know want to sound too lost in life because I should have. I know I should have things figured out by my 30s, but I really don't. I don't really have a set long-term career path that I found that I've been so passionate about. So I've had a lot of different jobs throughout my adult life. So I don't even like associate myself with I am this. I'm trying to figure out what's the next thing to do. One of my hobbies is photography, and I would love to one day have a career, maybe sports photography or something along those lines. I think that would be a lot of fun. My main goal is I want to enjoy what I do. That's my biggest thing. I know what I don't want to do. I've had enough jobs to know what I don't want to do. But I'm just trying to narrow it down and land where I want to for what I want to do. So all in due time. I'm not comparing myself to others. I'm not going to stress myself out too hard. My guy, you're 34.
Yeah, but I think there's such a like societal expectation that you go to college, you come out of college, you pick a career, and then you stick with it for the rest of your life. And I respect the fact that this dude's like, yeah, I know that I don't like these things, so I don't want to do them. I'm still trying to find my passion.
This is a good way to help you with your passion, my guy. After this, you'll be able to stream. You'll be able to talk on podcasts. You'll be able to do something in the reality TV world. You're 34, though. You're a little
Do you
old.
think his goal coming out of this is to become some kind of influencer, or do you think he was doing this because he had literally nothing going on?
He had nothing else going on.
And it's funny because like Morgan is Morgan's a streamer and she's a
Yeah.
model. So like she's employed but like for general purposes she works odd jobs. And then you had Catherine who was a waitress. We don't know if that's a full-time thing. And then we had a couple others. Like there's always those coded like this is my job. Oh, you're unemployed. We just won't put unemployed there. So like kudos for Vince to be like, yeah, put that I don't have a job up there.
Vince is like, I don't even have that going on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even
Because,
have that going on.
because like if I was unemployed and you asked and I went on this show, I would put professional athlete because we play travel kickball for money. And then when people are like, "Oh, you're a professional athlete," well, yeah, I play this sport for money. That makes me a professional athlete. Am I a professional athlete? No, but I got to have a job up there.
Right. It's it is so it's not having a job at all. Like not even didn't even have like didn't even put DoorDasher. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. Well, because if you're a DoorDasher, you're an entrepreneur.
I mean,
It's,
he plays orgs, right? He plays online reality games. He
yeah,
plays mini games with Big Brother.
it's funny. It's funny because like when I saw he was unemployed and I was listening to him, I was like, is he pulling like the Bowie thing where he rented out his apartment as an Airbnb for the summer, so he just needs somewhere to
CJ, how
live?
did your life improve? Mafia.
How
I
did your
don't.
life improve when you joined the mafia? Well, I stayed in the game long enough that I wasn't homeless outside of it because I
I used
needed
to.
to make it to jury so that I'd have somewhere to live all summer.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't. I'm assuming he lives at home.
I mean, he lives in LA. Most people live at home.
Yeah, and so him not having a job not that big of a deal, I guess. He's figuring it out with his parents. I don't. I mean, I really don't know. Like, I do not. I don't have Ben's making jury.
I do. I think that he's likable, and being likable can get you to jury. But I also need him to twirl his mustache like a villain at some point this season.
I like him, but not having a job and not having really anything to. He doesn't seem to have like a ton to talk about. He's done a lot of jobs he didn't like, but there's nothing that like sparks.
If he's just the funny guy in the house, like that counts for something. Or if he's the dude that cooks or does dishes, that counts for something.
Yeah, if it to make jury, yes.
To make sure, like, similar to Survivor, we're not going to vote out the person that fishes. In Big Brother, we don't vote out the people that cook and clean.
Listen, my guy Rome will let you know it's crazy because he fished and he got voted out.
Okay, but Rome was fishing and brought home no fish.
He brought home fish and he only ate him. He ate it in Nature's face. Um, that was a different. That was a different thing. You can't
Yeah,
do that.
that tiny fish.
It was something. You know what though? I think you convinced me. I think Vince stays. I think Zach goes. Let's talk about Zach
So it's funny
because
because Zach and Riley were the two I was debating, and I decided to cut Riley and keep Zach
Zach Cornell is the last guy we're here to talk about today
today.
because there's a 17th mystery house guest. Zach is 27. He's from Cartersville, Georgia. He's a marketing manager. Why will you win, Big Brother? I really do feel like I am the complete package, and I don't say that in a cocky way. There's no other way to say that, Zach, by the way, than to be cocky. But back to him, he said, I just know that from all the different steps in my life. I mean, I was a PK, a pastor's kid, that grew up very shy in a very sheltered home. And I had to come out of my shell when I got to college. I mean, it was my first day in college when I saw somebody smoking weed for the first time. Pretty sheltered. So I had to really adapt. And then you ultimately moved from there to into professional baseball. I think he played in the MILB or the
He was
small
in the
baseball.
Washington Nationals farm system.
Okay. So he played pro ball. You're living with 7 people in the same house all at once. And so there's a lot of different aspects in my life that I've had to really change myself to understand what's going on in my environment. And ultimately, that is going to be the number one reason why I'm going to win Big Brother. I feel like this is always an ever changing game. And when I see people there on day 45 sleeping, taking a nap, not really paying attention to their surroundings, it drives me insane. My guy, day 45. Day 45 means we've been in this house for over a month, or been in for
Yep.
5-6 weeks. Well, I'm kind of locked in with the kind of stuff I'm doing. If you see me napping, it's because I've been yapping. You know what I'm saying? If I'm napping, it's because I was already yapping. That's why I'm napping. So
Could
if
you
you
imagine
think,
being in the house at day 45 and not being locked in with who you were locked in with?
right. No, because you wouldn't be in the house on day 45 if that was the case, because your ass would have been home already, like Zach.
Yep.
Zach gonna watch on day 45, watching from the feed just like us on the other side of the computer.
It's funny because Zach was my auxiliary um, showmance for either Catherine or Lauren. But I I don't know if he makes it, but by the numbers game, Riley knows nothing about the game and Zach knows something about the game, so Riley had to go.
The Aaron Burr, Thomas Jefferson conundrum,
Yep. Exactly what it is.
Zach knows a little bit about this game. Riley, you know nothing.
Yep.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
To have BB history on your side.
uh, I just I don't love Zach, and his smile creeps me out.
Oh, I got crazy eyes when I saw him. Crazy eyes. You have
Yeah,
crazy eyes. And I don't think he actually has crazy eyes, but I saw him and I saw Matt. I just think it's funny.
the fact that he thinks Tucker was a hero is insane to me.
That was the other reason why I wanted to cut him. Like I was very close to cutting him, but again, Riley knows nothing. It's funny to me because he says, "What's on your Big Brother bucket list?" His bucket list item is to win head of household. I feel like that is the number one thing that I've always dreamed of, especially growing up. So yeah, that is my number one thing to do. My guy. What about like OTEV, Zingbot,
Like some things that have
BB
happened.
Comics?
So go back to read why the show's successful.
Why is the show successful? I got to go find that. Hold on. Oh, why is I am becoming a super fan, and so when it comes to Big Brother, I feel like it is the most raw and authentic show out there. I mean, you're stuck here for 90 days with the same people. A lot of these shows only last for 3 weeks, which is a great point that you don't want to annoy people. Anyway, going back to what he said, and so you have to grit and grind your way through the show because it's all about mental stability in this house, and I appreciate that about Big Brother because you always have to stay on your toes because you never know what the next step is, and you have no idea what Big Brother's going to throw at you. It's all about surprises, and that's what I really appreciate about Big Brother because he expects the unexpected.
I want you to also scan the answer about what you're bringing to the show that nobody's seen before.
Okay, while I look for that,
It's literally the paragraph right above.
oh no, I know. But while I look for that, so many people said things that they were bringing that I've already seen. So many of them, which is why I haven't talked about it because it made me mad. Anyway, what are you bringing to the show that nobody's seen before? I'm going to be that person that is an all-around type player. Seen those before. I know that in last season you had people like Mackenzie, who was a challenge piece, or you had someone like Chelsea who ended up winning the show, somebody that was working behind the scenes and really dictating the flow of the game. And I want to be a person that combines the two, right?
Pause. You said I saw Mackenzie, who made it to the final two, playing with challenges. I saw Chelsea running the fucking game. Chelsea's one of the best winners we've had.
Yes, was her season just weak?
No. Yeah, Quinn, yeah, Joseph, yeah, fans in the game. Everybody was playing. But Chelsea was able to be low-key and undercover for the game and run. She had Mackenzie doing all the heavy lifting, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
she moved her arms. But then read the next paragraph. Read the next sentence.
Oh, yeah. I really appreciate what Tucker did last season, flipping the house upside down. So my goal ultimately is to go in there and be all three at once. What? What, my guy? To finish it, I feel like I've watched enough Big Brother. I've watched enough competition shows, realize when you need to take that step forward and when you really need to reel it back. So to be somebody that you've never seen before, my ultimate goal is to be all three of those people from last season. What?
Make it make
Is
sense.
last season the only season of Big Brother he's ever seen, despite
Make it
claiming
make
to be a
sense.
super fan?
Make it make sense. He also got season 16. You know what I'm saying? Just like everybody else. The two biggest things that I really enjoyed was when Zach in season 16 called out Devin and made fun of Pow Pow at the same time. I found that absolutely hilarious. And then the most recent season, I love when Tucker ran through and flipped the house upside down. That's something I've always envisioned for myself. I want to do the same thing. He's watched one season, and then, as you know, everyone knows they pretty much give him 16 and sequester like every year.
Yeah.
Here, watch Derek win.
I mean, they give them 16. They give them 23. Sounds like they gave them 26.
I don't know if they gave him 23, but it sounds like they gave him 26. 26 and 16. 16 for sure. Like, 16 has been a staple for a long time.
Yeah.
I think you could ask for any season, but I think they give them 16 to the 16. They used to give them 10 a lot. 10 was how they wanted the game to be played. 16 is a lot. 16 was a very good season in terms of like how the game has grown, if you will. But yeah, that's what do we read? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing? Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if neither him nor Riley make it to jury. But like I said, he has beliefs. Riley has none.
yeah.
I don't feel good about it. Like, I'm probably going to take a shower after this.
Like, it's not even rough. It's bad, right? Like Zach, I don't even know what to say. I don't even have hope. I don't even have hope for you, my guy. I don't even have hope for you, Mr. Cornell. That's a no for me. I quickly skimmed this, and that's what I was like, you know what, Vince is a yes. This
Zach
CJ
has to
said,
be a no.
You said, how am I going to get there? That's how I was going to get there all along.
Gotcha.
The map was always there. I didn't even know it, but I just knew that I was going the right way.
Yeah.
So you have Adrian, Ava, Cliff Will Williams, Zay, Kelly, Mickey, Riley, and Zach not making jury.
Yes, sir.
I have Ava, Zay, Catherine, Kelly, Mickey, Riley, and Zach not making jury. We're kind of close in there.
Yep.
We're kind of close in there. this season is going to be a fun 25 years. I'm really excited that the BB Arena, AI Arena is back. Um, I'm really excited for this cast. I'm really excited to watch Morgan play this game because she's our favorite. Um, I think it's time for us to draft. And
Yes, sir.
I think you can go first. I'm gonna let you go first. Um, I'm gonna let you go first.
So we're going first. I'm not taking her. Is this some kind of like
I just had her.
subliminal?
You
Is this
missed
some
it.
kind of subliminal message
No,
you're trying to work?
before you even look down, I put her up there. She's just been up there the whole time. You've been looking down the entire time.
Oh, because I was actually writing out my power rankings down. Uh, First, I'm gonna go with Ashley. As we've talked about all of them, I just like her chances the most.
Ashley,
Yeah.
I don't even have it actually on this list right here.
Well, she was third. Ashley Hollis, attorney,
Where
New
did
York,
did I not write
Georgetown
her?
money.
Oh, I had her as Amy. Is corrected. There we go.
Well, there is an Amy also.
Yeah.
I'm not taking Amy first.
Are we doing? We're doing Snake. It's totally fair way to do it, I think.
I guess.
Um. I am going to take my boy Keanu.
All right, good pick. Good pick.
And then I'm going to next take. As I'm looking here. You already took Ashley off the board. I'm going to take Adrian next.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he has high winner upside.
Interesting. So then, with my next two picks,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Jimmy, who I had as my second rank
Okay.
after Ashley, because I think he has winner upside as well.
Mm-hmm. This
And
is a
then,
winner only draft, by the way. Winner only draft for anyone that's looking.
yeah. And then I'm taking Morgan next because I can't watch the show without her.
I get it. I get it. I'm going to take Vince here. I had him out at one point, but I have him back in there and for winner upside. And then I'm going to take, oddly enough, I'm going to take, even though I don't have him making jury, I'm going to take Zay next right here. Because if he makes it past the jury and I'm wrong, I think he has winner upside. Because there's other people here that I have making jury, but I don't foresee them winning.
Right. When we talk about winner upside, there's I don't know what their path is. And I think there could be a path for him. I don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking winner upside. I'm going to take Zach.
Okay.
And then after Zach, we're starting to get into my pre-jury picks. Give me Lauren. But I don't feel good about it.
Okay.
I don't feel good about any of these at this point. Mm-hmm. And who knows? This is where winners come from.
Yeah.
You only need one.
You only need one. I am going to take Mickey here.
Okay. That's who I was deciding between.
I can't in good faith take Riley here. I'm going to take Mickey here and Catherine.
Okay.
Catherine here. Yeah.
So then, with my next pick, I'm going to take Amy.
Amy, okay.
And who do we have left? We got Ava, Clifton, Kelly, and Riley.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Kelly.
Okay. So here, I'm going to take Cliff and someone you forgot, mystery 17th house guest.
Okay, so when I tried to do this previously, I was told no, you couldn't do it. You had to pick a name on the list.
I do not like that. I do
That
not
was-
like anyone left. I'm going to take.
Nope,
the
that was the rule. I tried it.
It ended up not being a person, so it saved you. You tried to take Ainsley, you would have been a person down. That
Yeah,
would have not-
and I still would have been fine.
Who had Chelsea? Did I have Chelsea? I had Chelsea. I think I had Chelsea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have picked first. I forgot I had Chelsea. Chelsea. I picked Chelsea everywhere. Like last year, like that was all my money was on Chelsea. Like day one.
Oh, I had in the fantasy league that I won, I had Chelsea, McKenzie, and Cam.
Oh well, you know that's fantastic.
Yeah, I ran away with that shit.
I like the mystery 17th house guests over Ava and Riley.
That's
Like,
fine, but you can't have them because
Whoever it is.
previously established rules.
Listen, if you
We
look
can't
at the
go
Supreme
back
Court,
on that.
Supreme Court changes shit all the time nowadays. They just say whatever
Wow.
we said before just doesn't matter no more.
That's a terrible precedent to cite.
But is it not the truth?
It was ridiculous.
It's the truth. That's why you can't even say it's
Ridiculous.
fine. I guess I'll take Riley, and that leaves you with Ava, I guess.
Can I have the mystery 17th house guest?
No, because I tried to take them right here. You could have chosen between Riley and Ava.
Is it bad that I would rather have a blank space on my roster than take Ava?
No, that's what I mean. Ava would have been left off the board, but you made sure that I couldn't get the 17th house guest.
Well, I didn't want Riley either.
Okay, I have a trade proposal.
Okay.
I will trade you Vince for Jimmy.
Nah. Because I had Jimmy number 2 on my power rankings.
Okay. How about this? How about I trade you Vince and my second round pick next year?
No.
Vince and my second next year?
Nah.
So a 28 second and Vince.
No, because what you're missing is I actually have 3 of my top 4 ranked players, and yeah, my crush is kind of blinding me. But to have Ashley and Jimmy was 1, 2. I had Keanu 3, and I had Morgan 4.
The reason is because I had Jimmy high on my board, but I totally just missed him when I was going through the names right now. That's why because my list with the names don't have the pictures. That's why I was like, that's why I'm trying to. What do you want? What do you want for Jimmy?
I want your whole team.
You can't give me I can't. That doesn't make any sense.
This is a Ricky Williams trade.
We can't give you an entire squad for one player in a winner only draft. It's not Jimmy
Saints
versus
did
the
it.
field. It's not Jimmy versus the field. I can't.
Why not?
It
Did you
doesn't
want him
make
that bad?
No, it doesn't make any sense. That's not
This
how
is my
works.
price.
I can give you Vince and Catherine.
Nah, because legitimately Jimmy was my second.
Fine,
Like,
fine.
like when when we talk about winners, and I'm looking at this, I have Ashley and Jimmy in their own tier as far as potential winners, and then I have Keanu in another tier, and then I have the tier with Morgan and some of the others.
All right, so CJ has Ashley, Jimmy, Morgan, Zach, Lauren, Amy, Kelly, and Ava. Kevin has Keanu, Adrian, Vince, Zay, Mickey, Catherine, Cliff, and the mysterious 17th house guests.
Do you think we get an Ainsley situation, or you think it's actually a real person?
I think it's
year?
a person. That's why I would rather have them instead of Riley.
That's fair.
I think it's a real person.
Do you think it's
I
a
think-
returning house guest or someone who has never played Big Brother before but has played games?
I think it's someone who's never played Big Brother but has played games.
Got you.
That's why I would rather have them there. I think it's only fair. I did say it before you did. You didn't even ask to clarify. I feel like I should get them, and I'll even let you take Riley between Riley and Ava and leave Ava off the board if you want.
Nah. The only reason I'm saying no is because I tried to pull this shit before and got
But last year, I feel like last year though we knew it wasn't gonna be a player.
Did we though?
Yeah, because they said you're gonna decide if the player's gonna come in the game. That didn't make any sense. Because if you're gonna decide,
we didn't know that at the time that we did the draft.
yeah, we did. No, that was.
I thought we found that out night one.
No. They were saying that before. Let me see. Big Brother. Because I just want to just double check. It's just Big Brother 26. Preseason. Our cast. Additionally, the new group of house guests will experience an unforgettable summer with jaw-dropping surprises of the BBAI. Oh, they also revealed that the cast will have the power to vote in a 17th house guest for the first time.
Give me the 17th house guest over whoever I took last.
What? What are you talking about? No, that was last year.
That was, I know. That's what I said.
Last year they said they. I don't think we ever. I didn't believe that it was gonna be a real person because they said not that it was gonna be Ainsley, but I thought that there was no way this person was playing because they said they'll have the power to vote in a 17th house guest. Why in the world would I vote in? Why would I say? Let's make it harder. Add an extra person
so that I can get an advantage in the competition.
We didn't know it was gonna be like a fake person. You know, we didn't know the AI arena, but this time they're saying that a 17th person will be playing.
Well, we will find out on Thursday.
We will find out on Thursday. Yeah, I guess we'll find out on Thursday.
You think they're gonna release it tomorrow?
No, it'll be Thursday.
Yeah, it's gonna be a surprise.
This has been fun, CJ. We're gonna enjoy ourselves watching Morgan Pope play the game all season long.
Yep.
We have the two teams. They've been broken down. I have Riley, I guess, instead of the 17th house guest because CJ screwed me on that. You know, that's fine. We're the 5 p.m.ers. We'll be here every Monday as close to 5 p.m. as we can. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Oh, no. I lied. No, I will not be here at 5 p.m. We're going to be later. We're going to be at closer to 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Because we got stuff to do. So catch us every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. CJ, anything else you want to say to the people?
Go team.
Go team. Thank you. Thank you for joining us from coming to you from outside of the Big Brother house. Good night.
Peace.